Welcome to my 6th section, Advances in Keras. In this section, we're going to take a look at some of the new advances in Keras. I'm going to talk about the Keras tuner and what that's all about. We will then explore AutoML and how to use Keras AutoML. In this first video, I'm going to give you an overview of some of the new advancements in Keras. First of all, let's talk about TensorFlow and Keras and their relationship. In this entire series, we've been using Keras, and it's backended by TensorFlow. Keras is a framework that requires a backend to do some of the heavy lifting, but abstracts away the complexities. You can build out similar or more complex models with TensorFlow directly, but Keras gives you that abstraction to make it a lot simpler and cleaner to build complex models under the hood. There are other deep learning libraries and frameworks out there that could be switched out for TensorFlow, such as Microsoft's Cognitive Neural Toolkit, CNTK, or others such as Theano. However, over the years, TensorFlow has become almost the default platform and is ubiquitously used across any implementation of Keras. It is very rare you'll find someone switching it out for one of these other platforms. So what's really happening? Basically, with the latest release of Keras, version 2.3, that is the last standalone multi-backend supported Keras version. TensorFlow will become the default and main backend for Keras in future releases, and Keras will become a module under the TensorFlow framework. What this means is, instead of using Keras as a standalone package, you'll use a module within TensorFlow, which is recognized by tf.keras. It is pretty straightforward to interact with, and doesn't really change a whole lot, but just makes it simpler without having to worry about complex support for other backends that aren't really used or developed at this point in time. Some other updates that landed in version 2.3, the latest release of Keras at the time of this video. There was support added for TensorFlow 2.0, which is great. That's the newest version of TensorFlow, giving you a bunch of bells and whistles. They added support for the size function. The add metric function was added to the layer and model to allow you to add metrics in there. And then another key breaking change was learning rate. LR was renamed to learning rate, and so if you're representing LR in your code and models, you'd have to rename that to learning rate with the upgrade. Let's take a quick look at how to use the new tf.keras module. Here is a simple notebook I put together to show how this works. Essentially, you need to import TensorFlow and represent it here as tf. So before you would have just imported Keras. Once you've imported TensorFlow, you can now access Keras using tensorflow.keras instead of its standalone package. Once you've done that, you can then reference the same sort of things you would have done previously. So if you are building a model, for example, you need the layers module, and in order to do that, you can simply access that here, but reference the tensorflow.keras instead of standalone Keras, and import the right packages and modules. Here I'm importing the layers module, and then as you can see below, I can build out my model. Very similar, pretty much the same as I did before. The only difference here is I'm referencing tf.keras instead of Keras itself. But overall, the same functionality exists, and as new functionality rolls out, you'll see that roll out into this module and not updated in the prior modules that were standalone.